Oh my god, I don't know if I can do this or not. Welcome to another episode of Thoughts on Star Wars and Comics. And as you can see, I have issue 1 and 2 here of the Last Jedi comic. Oh boy. I wasn't going to review these till way later because I wasn't really interested in looking at them. I just wanted to cover the main arcs of the main Star Wars lines for now and then get into some of the spin-off stuff later. But I've heard so many people talking about this, like on the World Class Bullshitters live streams and the High Council live streams, Ethan Van Sciver and all those guys, Geeks and Gamers. They've been kind of talking, or people have been sending stuff in as they've been changing the story in this, and I kind of want to check it out. I had gotten the first issue a while ago, and then for some reason I didn't get the next couple issues in my pull list, even though I've got listed everything Star Wars. They just never put it in there, which is fine. I didn't really want it to begin with, so it made perfect sense. I never said anything to the guys at the comic store, but whatever. So yeah, they did change some things in it, but not enough to make it any better. They just took a lot of the stupid stuff out and left a lot of the really stupid stuff in. Or should I say, they just tried to... Let me collect my thoughts here for a second. They tried to correct things, but it still doesn't make the story any better. Like, after the opening crawl, they have this little montage from Luke, and he's thinking, and he's like, oh, someone's behind me. Oh. Anyway, and then there's some more stuff with Akbar on the Resistance base. Cool, yeah. They took out the Your Mama joke with Poe and Hux, which is fine. By the way, is this Hux? Is this... I will give the artwork this. It's not bad. At least it's not that weird friggin' trace art that they've got in the mainline books. But it's not great. It looks very rushed, and maybe that's because they decided to add things into it, so they had to change things, but... Trying to keep my blood pressure down right now. It goes exactly like the movie does. Poe does this little thing run. It just sounds... When you put it in the comic frame, it looks even stupider than it does, because, you know, he's just friggin' destroying the guns on this thing, and they're not stopping him. And then they finally decide to... Hux says, send the fighters out, and this guy calls him an idiot. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just like basic friggin' stuff. Anyway, it's pretty much the same. There's some weird jokes here and there. Bombers come up. Paige Tico gets her little scene there. Oh, Jesus. They blow up the cruiser. They get away. Hux berates him, and then, yeah. Finn wakes up. It's the same stupid humor with Finn, though. Couldn't give him a good scene. Couldn't redeem him. Finn was such a... Well, he was an interesting... You know, he could have been a very interesting character in the Force Awakens. Or he was an interesting character in the Force Awakens if they give him a little bit more development. And I was kind of hoping he would have a better story arc in the next movie. He bumps his head on the glass. Anyway, never mind. They ruined Finn's character. He had so many good opportunities to be good and an interesting character, but they ruined him. And it sucks. And Poe's the same way. Poe is going to be a really interesting character. His comic series that came out after The Force Awakens was actually probably one of the most interesting ones running, because it wasn't just, you know, stuff that we ultimately knew. Well, we knew Poe was in The Force Awakens, so we knew he was going to survive up to that point, but at least it was an interesting story, because we didn't really know what happened before that movie in that gap period, so it was at least a little bit interesting and creative. Where the Star Wars stuff has been kind of boring, they've been sticking to some weird stories, and it doesn't really affect anything in the main trilogy. It's just there to kind of flesh out that in-between time, which I guess is fine, but we ultimately know where everybody ends up, so it gets very boring after time. Anyway, we got the whole... They did retain the Luke throwing the lightsaber away scene, though. They had to put that in there. You know, and he calls it... there's more montage after he goes into his hut. Ah, a child with a worthless antique and delusions of grandeur. Not what I expected. But then, what did I expect? A worthless antique, Luke? A worthless antique? I think the first thing you might want to say is, how the hell did you get this lightsaber? Last I saw it, my hand was attached and it was falling down a pit on Bespin. That would be what I would say, but apparently he didn't care about that. Chewie busts the door open, and this is where I first noticed the first change. You get the "where's Han" line, and then Rey says, "Oh, he was killed and murdered by Kylo Ren," and Luke says, "Oh, I would have known. I would have felt it if I hadn't cut myself off or whatever." Then Chewie hugs him. Why the hell wasn't that in the movie? That would have been at least better than what the hell we got. It was a cutaway. Then we got the Ren scenes. I friggin' laughed at this panel. This is hilarious. This face. No, and then the electricity. This should become a meme. I might use this as a title card. I've never put a title card on my series videos yet, but I might with this one. But there's one in the other book that I might use too. Anyway, it's pretty much the same. That one's pretty funny too. It's pretty much the same though. They didn't change much. Oh, but look, there's no Luke milking the sea cow scene. It goes right to the tree. That's kind of interesting now, isn't it? It's almost like that made Luke look like a... I don't know what the hell that scene was. That's just making me angry now. I don't even want to think about it. But what the hell is this? That is not the supremacy. That's like I don't know, a ship from the 1980s Dune movie or something like that. The resurgence classes don't even have the friggin' towers on them. Poor... Oh, haha, Poe gets slapped by Leia. I'm not even... no, I'm done with that one. Okay, this one has a big bend in it. Good old quality Marvel shipping. So there's bends all through this book, which is fine, because I don't really care what shape it's in. This starts out with Kylo attacking them, and this is really weird, the way they handle this in the comic. He does this little blowing up thing. I kind of like this, where he attacks the bridge, and Leia gets sucked out, and everyone gets sucked out into space. They gave Akbar some lines, and he says, "Torpedoes inbound. It's been an honor serving with you all," and then you see him explode. Well, that would have been better than what we got in the movie, which was nothing. Yay, Rian Johnson, right? Anyway. But then, after they blow up the bridge, they just said, it just goes, what's the point of all this if we can't even destroy the three cursors? Why the hell did they stop the attack? They just blown up the freaking bridge of the ship. Why did they send their fighters back? They never explained this here. It was never really explained in the movie either. This military tactic is so weird. Oh, and then we get another change. Leia's got little thought bubbles of when she's floating out into space. She's like, is this the end? Is this the life? Is this the end of a lifetime spent fighting, resisting, and surviving? Luke once told me, the future is always in motion, difficult to see. But as I look within the Force for a glimpse of mine, it has never seemed clearer. The end, like hell. And then she pulls herself back in. And then we get this stupid friggin' line down here. It's like, oh, that's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. I thought she was gone, dead, floated in space, blah, blah, blah. That's what Poe says. And then Finn says, the Force. And then he says, that's not how the Force works, is it? Ooh, fucking book. Then we get the Luke scene where he's on the Falcon and R2 shows him the hologram, blah, blah, blah. So then he says, oh yeah, he's fine, I'll train you. We get Admiral Purple Hair comes in. It's just as stupid as it is in the movie. There's the Rose Tico crying. We get Rose Tico's introduction. This is our Uncle Ethan moments right here. Too bad the artwork's not really good. His artwork is better than this. The ones that he's been doing on live streams with Tico. Anyway, she zaps Finn. The whole misunderstanding situation. Oh, and look, another change. We get the perspective of Maz's conversation from her perspective, and she's got this little leg droid to follow her around. That's why there's all these weird friggin' camera angles and stuff when she's talking to them. It's still stupid. That scene was just weird. And we get the first conversation between Rey and Kylo and their little Force Skyping, blah, blah, blah. Luke says it's time for your first lesson. They do the thing. There's just a really weird bend over Rey's face. And it just so happened to go right across her eyes there, so it looks hilarious. Thank you, Marvel, for your crappy paper that got bent in shipping. And they do the whole thing where she gets the darkness, blah, blah, blah. He says, blah. Anyway, apparently the third issue came out on the 6th of June. I didn't see it in the store, but I might pick it up. Probably not, though. As far as what I've seen so far from this, it's not worth your time. That's just what I'm going to say. If you didn't like Last Jedi, this is not going to make it any better. And that's what I wanted to see. And it's not like a comic can really fix the movie anyway, so what was the point of changing anything to begin with? This is a really weird play on Lucasfilm's part. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to get those two out of the way and put them away and never really look at them again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode, and hopefully I won't be as angry next time.